To grab this screen. How is everybody? Hello, Debbie Gazzardo. Welcome back to 1111 True Crime. What do we got? Tunnel underneath. We're going to pull some cards and what the intent. Sorry. At least we got sound. Hey, one technical major feat. But what is the intent, the energy, the intent behind the words that Annie used about her mother, allegedly? Remember, you guys, everything I share with you is my humble interpretation of the cards. I'm sharing my opinion, my thoughts, my feelings, nothing factual. For legal purposes, this is entertainment only. And I am not a medium. I don't talk to the dead, ever. I am not a psychic. I don't tell the future. But what I am good at is tarot reading. And tarot is excellent at reading energies and understanding the intent. Tarot was made for intent. It tells me a lot. Now, this isn't a tarot deck. This is an oracle deck. This is true crime oracle cards, but we are going to get into the tarot as well. Let's say hello to a few people. Hi, Lynn on YouTube. Cup of Cats. Good to see you, Samantha. Hi, Jenny Bill. Hi, Lottie. Welcome back, Zozo. Good to see you. Good to see you, Jenny Jan Funk. Hello. Welcome back, love. Claudia Edwards, Samantha. There's so many of you here. And we have our beautiful replay crew, as well as our live audience that isn't in the chat. And so I'm going to jump into a reading. And I'm going to find out what the cards suggest that Annie's actual intent behind her words, such as blowing on the embers of hope, walking or standing on ash, on scorched ground. Our love for you is burning, Mommy. Very interesting choice of words. It's all about fire, and it has me questioning, was Nancy, let me put it this way, is Annie telling tales here about what really happened to Nancy? Is she sharing thoughts of what she believes? Why is she choosing the words that she chooses? So that's going to be the read today and the intent for the read. Now, even though I'm wonderful at reading tarot, you guys are so much better at asking the questions. And so after this live, we'll do another live, and that'll be our third live of today. We did one already discussing things together about what all's changed in the case, what the updates are, and discussed a lot more than that. Quite an interesting, no earth shakers, but a lot of very interesting information in the previous live, so check that out. But the next live, you'll be able to ask the questions and I'll pull the cards for you. But for now, it's my turn to see what the cards say, and then we'll hand it over to you. Let's get into the reading. Let's just understand. All I want is us to focus our energy into a good intent for Nancy Guthrie. Focus your energy in good intent for Nancy Guthrie. Now remember, you guys, I'm not a professional camera person. I got cameras over here. I got cameras over here. I don't know which camera to talk into half the time. I'm deep within the zone of the read, so bear with me. Here we go. The intent is Annie Guthrie's meaning behind her words: scorched earth, ashes, burning love, mind control, subliminal. I don't know if she is trying to somehow, how do I want to put it, like subliminally send us a message, right? Very interesting that we're talking about words, words, swords, words, and that's what they do, is words influence the way we think. And so out of all the cards, mind control comes out with Annie. A spell. Mind control is spell casting. Words are used for spelling. You spell words. You cast with words. Mind control. So it's a spell, is what it's saying to me. Anything else for a clue as to Annie Guthrie and the words that she spoke with scorched and embers and burning love and ashes? Interesting. We have abuse and neglect. That made me think of the card that is the abuse and neglect card that was outside Nancy Guthrie's door. Next, we have accomplice, partner in crime, and they're hooded. And what do they have here? They have a fire. Now, you may see that's the sun rising. I see that in my mind as this is a fire. Accomplice, partner in crime. So with Annie, we have a partner, accomplice in crime. Could that be Tommaso? Annie's partner is Tommaso. Well, there. We also have a hidden card right here. We have marriage and wedding. Well, she's definitely married to Tommaso as far as I know. What's the hidden card? Surveillance. How interesting. Watching, seeing. Let's see what all these end up meaning as we bring out the tarot. Bottom of the deck, just curious. Family, that always comes up, right? Celebrity, well, you got the singer. Tommaso's the singer. Family, celebrity. You could see that as Savannah. She's a family celebrity. You could see that as Tommaso, being he's a musician. Looks like a lot of smoke and fire around him. Could represent, in a sense, scorched, fetish ball. And we have female. And we have travel. All right, let's put those all back in. And let's get into the tarot and understand this a lot deeper. The words that Annie Guthrie spoke, the word came out with mind control when we're talking about embers and spells. And let me see what we get. Show me Annie Guthrie's intent with the words that she chooses when she speaks of her mother. Scorched, embers, burning love. Thank you. We have commitment. This is the same as these two cards. So it's taking me from Annie to her commitment, her pledge, her oath. Now, she might have an oath to something besides her husband, too. Could be a spiritual oath. We have accomplice, partner in crime. We have the Hierophant. And we have the marriage and wedding. But I'm asking about the mind control and the words that Annie used. And we have this establishing a sense of guide, right? This guy is sitting on a throne. These guys are kneeling. And this guy is giving him blessings in the Hierophant. It's a hierarchy. It's saying, you know, kneel before me and then you'll be blessed. There's something there about almost like this sense of high priestess. And we have the abduction card. Now in the traditional tarot, this is self-imprisonment, representing mentally being self-imprisoned by your own worry, your own thoughts, your own problems, things that you have created that aren't going well in your life are imprisoning your mind. But in the True Crime Tarot, this is the abduction card. This is somebody that's been wrapped up, taken, they're surrounded by knives, they can't move on their own, they can't even see because they're blindfolded. And this is the abduction card. And look at this, I said this could be a pact, right, with someone else. Well, what is this a pact around? Mind control and a pact. Her words are imprisoning. So her words are spells in a sense also is what I'm picking up with the Hierophant. Taurus energy with that Hierophant. Show me more of this mind control and the words that Annie uses, please. Thank you. The liar, cheater, thiefer. Yeah, the strategizer. So Annie's always gets these kind of cards to where she's involved in stealing the words. Think of swords as words, swords. And this person is stealing the swords, from the other camp. And they're sneaking away with them. So in a sense, it's a deceptive wordplay. With the swords being words, this person's stealing, deception of words. Her words are deceiving. But I also think her words are telling a lot about what happened. Show me this, let me put it this way. Annie's intent towards her mother. What is her intent? Justice. That's not always a good sign. You could look at this in two ways. You could say, well, she wants justice for her mother. Annie wants her mother found. She wants the person that did it to come to justice. You could also see this as a double-edged sword. You could also look at this in the world of tarot as justice is in the eye of the beholder, and perhaps somebody felt like they had been treated unjustly and wanted justice. And that is the latter, is what I believe, because of the abuse and the neglect. However, if you are an Annie supporter, you could read this also as that Annie would believe that somebody has abused or neglected her mother. And, well, I think a lot of us believe that. And she's wanting justice. So there's two sides to every coin. Let's continue and see what this one's about. Why justice with the abuse and neglect, with the intent for Annie Guthrie towards her mother. How does she feel truly? Now this is a good card. It's the Empress, and it's all about abundance. I'm asking how Annie Guthrie felt about Nancy Guthrie, and she is putting her on a pedestal. The Empress is all four queens: the Queen of Cups, the Queen of Wands, Queen of Pentacles, and the Queen of Swords. She's been there, done that. She has the experience. She wears the crown, and she's also pregnant. Not physically with child. She is pregnant with abundance. And whenever this card comes up in traditional tarot, it suggests that there is abundance coming through a gift from the universe. It's also a high standard of, being dignified, of being authentic, and of being truthful. When I see this in true crime, I often think of the victim. The one that somebody may be jealous of. Two major arcanas with that abuse and neglect: the Justice and the Empress. Show me why Annie Guthrie uses the words about fire when she speaks of her mother in this accomplice and partner in crime. Swift action. So, accomplice, partner in crime, these hooded folks here, there's some swift action taken that is coming out. The Knight of Swords does the bidding, right? Not the king or the queen, the knight. The knight's the one that gets on the steed and charges forward. As you can see, the words are upright. The words are coming out swift. There's swift communication. Swift action taken as well. And we have accomplice, partner in crime, swift action. Explain why swift action regarding the partner in crime. Marriage card. So partner in crime is the husband. We've got marriage, wedding, we've got accomplice, partner in crime, we've got the swift action of the horse, and now I have the 1111 card, the Four of Wands. This is all about the marriage, right? These are the maypoles, and they're going to cross through the portal, and they're going to celebrate their marriage, if you will, their partnership. So this is literally a lot about swift action taken with a partner in crime, and the partner being a spouse. Show me the marriage and wedding card for Annie. Now, last time I got the marriage and the wedding card, let me come up to the top side, was in the Tepe murders. Long before they found out that it was her ex-husband that had committed the crime of taking out Monique and Spencer Tepe. Left the kids alive, left the dog alive, but brutally murdered both of them. When I see the wedding card, I now understand it means the partner. It means not just about a wedding, it's about the actual partner. Annie's partner. Show me why Annie's partner has come up so strongly in this read. Why does Tommaso's energy? Page of Swords. This is the stalker. This is the witness, the watcher. This is the one that dug deep. And this is also saying, look deeper, there's more to it. The Page of Swords is the one that views things, that sees it. That sword is up, but is slightly behind him because he's looking hard. He's learning. He's gathering information. He's the detective. And you could see it as the person gathering the information. So we definitely have this information gathering pointing right towards the marriage, the wedding of Annie Guthrie. Everything's alleged. Bottom of the deck, laid to rest. This person's laying on the top of a sarcophagus. That's because they've passed away. They're being laid to rest. Their sword will no longer speak. The swords are all down. This is in a church. This is about laying someone to rest. So there is a witness here. And there is some reason that there was some spilt cups between Annie, Tommaso, and Nancy. Show me surveillance, and that could be the surveillance prior to Nancy Guthrie being taken. Perhaps there was surveillance by family members. Let's understand the surveillance. The information victory. And Ace of Wands, phallic. Okay. So, of course, I threw it into the basement. Hold on, y'all. The cards are suggesting that the surveillance, now you could see this in multiple ways. Often there are multiple messages within the tarot. It's partly of how it works. So we have the surveillance. You could see this as Nancy being under surveillance prior to her going missing. And we have that Ace of Wands. This is an opportunity. And this is victory. All these wands are an passionate idea, also phallic, which is scary. So we have prior surveillance, but because of the way it came out, it also is predicting that there will be more information, or at least there is information available. There's information available through more surveillance. FBI will find more. That they're like, aha, we got something that's going to help the case. So you can see it as twofold and both be true. All right, let me understand a little bit more. We're going to use the Truth Oracle. And I want to understand the words used by Annie Guthrie towards her mother. With the embers and the burning references, what does that intent bring? Addiction. Drug, alcohol, obsession, and toxic attachments. This is like the Devil card. This could be addiction to many things. It's telling me that she can't help but tell on herself. Isolation, independent, alone, and single. She felt like alone a lot in tending to her mother. And she may have become addicted to substances in that. Show me why Tommaso comes up in Annie Guthrie's reading as a partner in crime. Mirror, because he's a mirror of her. He's the reflection of her, the reference of her distinguished appearance. So there's a mirroring energy between Annie and Tommaso. Mirrored. And she always gets this street. And so I do feel that street could mean, in a sense, traffic. Interesting. I want to get the true crime deck. Does Annie, let me ask this first. Does Annie Guthrie know exactly what happened to her mother? She knows abandonment, orphaned, abandoned. She knows there was travel with her mother. Annie feels abandoned, felt abandoned. What else? And she believes her mother is dead with betrayal. That the betrayal killed the mother as well. She believes she's passed over 10 of Swords. Let me understand what actually took place with Nancy Guthrie. We have that stalker, right? So we have that witness, the watcher, the stalker. And then we have car troubles. Isn't that funny how that car got towed of Annie Guthrie's? Isn't that interesting? Here we have the car being towed. I bet you do have car problems, Miss Annie. I bet you do. What happened to Nancy Guthrie? What happened to Nancy Guthrie? And thank you for sharing. Well, there, she did not go to church, right? She was supposed to meet her friends at that place, at one of their homes, and go to church. Well, I believe it turned into a funeral. I'm asking what happened to Nancy Guthrie. I've got the funeral card right here. Funeral. Interesting how church, right? We have buried, shallow grave. And it says hidden, covered, shallow grave. We have public, building, city. How did Nancy Guthrie pass away? How did Nancy Guthrie pass away? Thank you. She was killed by a murderer. How did the murderer take Nancy Guthrie's life? Are you shitting me? We have a sibling, sister, or a brother. Could that be a sister of Savannah Guthrie's? I'm going to leave it there. I'm going to let you guys remember everything is for entertainment purposes only. Just saying, for legal purposes. Wow, that said a lot. Yes, June. That said a lot. Now, you guys, I'm going to hand it over to you guys. You're going to ask the better questions. That's just something I don't do as good, obviously. You guys ask far better questions. So, I will clean up my decks, and then we'll restart the live, and we'll hand it over. I'll pin your questions as you ask. Let me get a couple of these off so that I can get the one deck out of here that we want to use. Excuse me. It's really dry in here. Now, something you guys need to know. Mama D, I'll come up to top side while I shuffle because I have something important to tell you guys. Mama D is facing, starting tonight, 18 to 24 inches of snow at once with 45-mile-an-hour hurricane force winds. So it's going to be even bigger gusts than 45 miles an hour because we have hurricane force winds coming. When you get snow and you get wind, you get a blizzard. So it's a complete whiteout. We are absolutely sure that we will be losing internet. So I probably won't be on for a few days, and I don't know how long it'll take for them to dig us out of this. I want you to know your prayers are greatly appreciated, very much. Yes, I am concerned, but God is my Savior, and I know He takes care of those that love Him and obey Him. And so Jesus is with me. I walk with Jesus every day. In that, we've also gassed up the car and buttoned down the hatches. Keep in mind, we're in very, very cold weather. So the loss of power is very concerning because that would mean no heat in terribly bitter cold conditions. But we've faced it before and survived. So just know I will be back if at all possible, and that I appreciate your help and your prayers very much. I truly do. All right, my lovelies. Yeah, 70-mile-an-hour gusts. That's what we're hitting. I know. They're saying tomorrow that the nursing home where my son works at, the big county facility, that they may just keep them and have them pull a double rather than bring in new people for a new shift. And so my son may have to work 24 hours in serving food to the elderly, but he said he's more than happy to do it. That's good morals. That is loving. That is a kind, young 23-year-old man that will work a double to make sure that the elderly are fed. He's a good kid. Warms my heart. All right, you guys, that being said, I love you guys very much. As always, I am so appreciative of all the love and the support that you give our channel. And thank you for hitting like. Thank you for the hyping. And thank you so much if you subbed up. All right, you guys, say a prayer for Nancy Guthrie. That's really important that we say a prayer for those that we care about. And perhaps the truth will be revealed. Now we're going to go over with a little time warp to the left, right? And we're going to pull some cards for answers to the questions that you guys have. And I will see you there in just a moment. Love you to the moon and back. Bye for now, my loves.
From the dust I was born, to the dirt I shall return. When my eyes are closed, in the shadows, my enemies will think that